Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is September 3rd. It is Sunday. It's very rainy outside today. It's been raining all day. And we went and had to go pick up Eddie today. So on the way back we had to stop and grab some school supplies because school starts for us up here on Wednesday. So we had to grab some stuff for school. So while we were at Walmart, I have been wanting to get one, and I decided to bite the bullet and do it. And I bought a dehydrator. Freaking thing is 40 bucks, but you know, now we're all set, and it's going to be a good addition to the preps. We're going to be able to do a lot of dehydrating of food, which I'm really excited about. We're going to do a lot of dehydrating of the apples. You know, like I said, I got a lot of apples, so we're going to definitely make sure that we dehydrate a whole bunch of the apples. So we're pretty psyched about that. That should be fun. And when we do that, and I'll show you guys that when we do that, I'll do a video on that. But so we got that. In light of what's going on in the world, and I'm sure by now everybody knows that North Korea detonated a hydrogen bomb. I guess they did it underground. So I said, well, you know what? While we're out at the store, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up a few more things. So I got another 20 pounds of rice, because you can never have enough rice. I picked up, we like, Heather and I actually love these. These are creamy chicken and flavored rice and pasta blend. One packet of this feeds the both of us a meal, to be honest with you. And it's $1. I mean, how can you go wrong for $1? So, got a bunch of those. Picked up, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I think there's a 10th one. Yeah, there's a 10. So we got like, well, I think there's 10 of these. Then we picked up the roasted mashed potatoes. We like those as well. Those were actually pretty cheap. They were like 79 cents a box or a package. And see, here's the best part, guys. With a package like this, I can put it underwater, let it sit underwater, and it's going to be fine. And so, you know, when I look at the flooding, what's going on in Houston, if you had this type of a prep, or, you know, even these here, they're not going to get waterlogged. They're not going to get ruined because of the water. You can still use them. We also picked up some creamy garlic and shells. Picked up some Alfredo. We have chicken flavored fettuccine. Let's see, what was the other one? I thought there was something else too. Let's see. That's Alfredo again. That's the creamy garlic. So, picked up a bunch of those. Also ended up picking up, I got 2 boxes of instant mashed potatoes. Just add milk and margarine. I mean, and realistically, if you had to, you could just use water, and you know, if you have butter, if you have access to it, whatever. But so, picked up 2 boxes of that. And then a big thing of Tang. Eddie likes Tang, so we got another thing of that. So, you know, it's just always adding on to your preps. I know I've said it in earlier videos this year, and I'll reiterate again. Food is going to be key, guys. You know, water and food, those are your 2 biggest things, but you can live a lot longer without food than you can with water. So, but I mean, where we're located, I have water out the wazoo. So water's never, for where we are here in New York, water's not an issue, okay? So I'm a big believer in making sure you got more than enough food. And so, you know, we keep adding on to our food stores, and we will continue to keep adding on to our food stores. So that's what we're focusing on, and that's what we're working on. And so that was what this was today. I mean, rice, you can add so many things to rice, and you know, just to make the rice taste differently. But rice can feed you for a long, long time. I mean, just ask the Chinese and you know, the Japanese, their main staple of their food diet is rice. So, with a lot of vegetables and stuff like that too, obviously. But Rice is a big part of that, and you know, that's going to keep you alive. It's a meal, you know, so that's really, really important. Like I said, with everything that's going on, I believe, like I said, I've always said, you prepare for the worst and you hope for the best. I do not have a lot of faith in mankind, and I'll be honest with you on that. I just don't. We're the most vicious animal on this planet, and so you never know what's going to happen. But to be as ready as you possibly can be. And, you know, I had somebody made a comment the other day, and I haven't replied to it yet, but I mean, I will, I'll get to it. But they said, well, you know, not everybody can live up in the hills. You know, all the jobs are on the coast, which is complete BS. I'm sorry. All the jobs are not on the coast. There's jobs all across this country. If you're willing to work, the work is there, okay? Yes, I live way out. I moved way out into the country, and I live up in the hills on purpose. You know, I'm fortunate enough that I have a job where, you know, I can get a job anywhere being a nurse. So I'm really, really lucky with that. So I don't have to worry about that type of thing at all. And so, but the thing is, there are other jobs out here other than just nursing jobs. So if you decide to get away from the cities and get away from the coast, and I've said, location is everything. You know, it's what you're willing to sacrifice to put yourself in a better position, to be better prepared. That's what it's really about. I mean, had I stayed in the Rochester area, there's 10 tons of jobs down in the Rochester area nursing-wise. I could add my pick of what I wanted to do. But I didn't want to be there because it's not safe when something happens. You don't want to be near a big city or in a big city. You don't want to be in the outskirts of the big city, you know. The higher the elevation that you can live in, the better off you're going to be because you don't have to worry about flooding. I mean, you have to look at what's around you. There's not any nuclear power plants close to us. We have Gunay Nuclear Power Plant out in Ontario County, you know, on Lake Ontario. That's a nuclear power plant that's near us, and it's not even really near us, but it's you know, it's outside of Rochester. It's probably 30 miles outside of Rochester heading east. So it's not near us at all. But the thing is, if you lived in that area, that's something you better be preparing for. What you got to look at, whatever area you live in, whatever choice of where you want to be, where you live, you have to make that decision. What is going to be the best area for us? What's going to work best? So, you know, prepare for your area. If you are prone to flooding, I would suggest having your preps in 5-gallon buckets and all vacuum sealed in either that or Marlar bags, and then sealed again with, you know, the rubber gaskets. Those preps are not going to be damaged because they're in a 5-gallon bucket that's watertight. So, you know, that's just being smart. You have to plan for the area that you live in. You have to be smart in that aspect and prepare for that. If you live in Tornado Alley, if you can have an underground shelter, you know, it's a great place to store your preps, and it's also a good place to be to you know, if there's a tornado in your area, so that you can protect your families. You know, I mean, that's just planning where you are, wherever you live, prepare for that area. If you live on the coast and if you choose to live by the ocean, you realize that it might not be every year, but there's going to come a year where there's going to be a big storm that comes, and it's going to do a lot of devastation. I mean, I lived in North Carolina 20 plus years ago, and you know, I lived way inland. I lived actually in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So I mean, you know, if there was a hurricane on the coast, by the time it got inland, yeah, we would get strong winds and get a lot of rain, but it wouldn't be as devastating as it was if you lived on the coast. So that's a choice, guys. You know, I hate people making excuses. You know, when I talked about evacuating Houston, you know, they're like, oh, there's 6.5 million people. It's impossible to evacuate the whole city. Well, you know, if you're in danger, it's your life. You know, make a choice. And somebody said, well, the last time they tried to evacuate there, 100 people died in cars, you know, because of the heat exposure and stuff like that. Again, preparing for your situation is what it's all about. And I hate when people say, oh, well, you know, they're poor and they can't do it and this and that. You know what? I've said it over and over and over again. You can change your circumstances. It is completely up to you. You can be a victim the rest of your life, or you can be proactive, do something about it, and change it. I was not handed a silver spoon when I was growing up. Okay, I grew up hard, and I grew up, you know, I did not have an easy childhood. But you know, when I got older, we ended up living with my grandparents for a while, and that was a big difference, and that was a big change in my life, and that brought us stability. And so, you know, life is what you make it. It's all about choices. I say this to my kids, and I said this to my niece and nephew when they were younger. It's people, places, and things. It's the people you're hanging out with, the things that you're doing, and the places that you are. You know, so it's always comes down to that. And that's the choice. If you put yourself with the wrong people at the right time in the wrong place, you are going to get yourself jammed up. But again, it's your choice to put yourself in that situation. So, being smart, being proactive, making the steps to the location that you're in, okay, that's really, really important. When we moved out here, it was a sacrifice. Okay, we sacrificed a lot of the conveniences of everything else to move out here. But we have worked on things for the last 2 years, and we've made our life a lot better. But that, again, that's our choice. But it's like I do that because I want to make my kids' life better. And I'm looking at a long-term situation. So, anyway, I'm going to stop rambling here and get off my soapbox. But, okay, so this was brought up, and I have to laugh about this. This is not a wedding ring. I am single, divorced. I will probably never get married again. This is a hematite ring. What this ring does, it absorbs negative energy. And when it's done absorbing whatever negative energy in your body, it breaks. Okay? They cost $2.50 a piece. And but they're a nice thing to have. It helps, like, you know, keep you more grounded and keeps you more stable. That's why I wear it. I wear it on that finger because that's the finger it fit on. I'm not a big ring person, as you can see. When I was married, I had my wedding ring on, obviously, and stuff like that, but I'm obviously not anymore. So, anyway, so I just want to bring that up, too, because somebody had mentioned that in a comment, and I explained it in a comment, but I figured I would put it out there on video, too. Anyway, so that's what we got going on. Adding to the preps, peace of mind. Getting the food dehydrator, I'm real excited about that, because that's going to really help us as well. We can dehydrate a lot of the different stuff that we want to dehydrate, and we can just put it away, and we can be used for whatever. Okay, so anyway, guys, that's what's happening right now, and I'm pretty excited about it, especially the dehydrator. I'm really excited about the dehydrator. It's going to be a huge addition to our preps, and it's something that we can use for years and years and years. So that's it's always a good thing. And so that's what we got going on right now. So other than the weather being crappy outside today, it was a very productive, positive day. Always try to do something positive. Always try to move forward. But I said it earlier in the video, and I'll say it again now. Food, food, food. Add to your food storage, guys. It's going to make a huge difference in the end. And if you think you have enough, double what you have. I mean, and I'm serious when I say that. Just keep adding on to it. It could be the difference between life and death. You never know who's going to show up that's going to ask for your help, and to be able to give some form of assistance that's not going to hurt you or your family, that, you know, that's a good thing if you can do it. If you can't, then you can't. Okay, but you got to think of your family first. Your family has to come first. So anyway, on that note, I will jump off of here, and I will talk to you all later. I hope everybody has a great day. Prepper Nurse went out for now. Oh, I forgot to say what I always say at the end of my videos. Remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. And remember, guys, STD. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever your goals are, you can do it. You just have to work at it methodically. Don't let anybody hold you back. Okay, guys, Prepper Nurse went out for now.